this video, we're going to go over how to read a tape measure. So when you're looking at a tape measure, you see all these marks here. If you were to count them, the number of marks in between the full inches, like that's 2 inches, that's 3 inches, 3 inches to 4 inches. There's going to be 16 marks. Really 15 marks, and then the 16th is the next inch mark. All right. And so what that means is each inch is divided into 16ths of an inch, and then the different size of the marks mean different things. The biggest one, you see that's halfway in between the inch, so that's a half inch. The next biggest one is halfway between that, so a quarter inch. And then the next smallest one is a eighth, and then the smallest is a 16th. We have this visual in the classroom in a couple different locations to help students remember this. One thing to keep in mind is as you're going, if you just count tick marks, that's 1/16. We consider this 1/8. But if you just count them as 16ths, 1/16, 2/16. But in a math class, we know 2/16 reduces to 1/8, 3/16, 4/16, or you could think of that as 2/8, but all those reduce to 1/4, 5/16, 6/16, which reduces to 3/8, 7/16, 8/16, or 4/8, which all reduce to, 2/4 also, which reduce to 1/2, 9/16, 5/8, which would be 7/16, or no, not 7, 10/16, 11/16, 12/16, which would reduce to 6/8, which reduces to 3/4, 7/8, 13/16, and then 14/16, which reduces to 7/8, 15/16. All right, I'm showing you these in red, just as like if you were to count every single tick mark, you could do that, which is again, it's a totally valid way to measure something, but you do need to reduce it to the number that's written in black. So hopefully this visual can help us know how to measure something. So some of the first examples that we have in the packet. So on one of the pages, you'll find this here. I'll go over a couple of these examples. You'll see that these are only inches. Here, this line goes 7, and it goes to the biggest tick mark. So either we remember that biggest tick mark is a ½ inch, or we count them, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8/16. So it would be 7 and 8/16. But because that can be reduced, you wouldn't leave it as 8/16. It's 7 1/2 of an inch. All right. You see that this 9 goes to the same biggest one. So either you know right away that that's a ½ inch. So you can right away say that's 9½ inches. Oh, by the way, the double tick mark means ½ inch. Inch. And we'll go over what another one might look like. Here we see it goes to a different size tick mark. It is not the biggest. It's not the second biggest. It's the third biggest. So either hopefully you know that it's the eighths. And so one way to do this is to say that's 1/8, 2/8. Remember the quarters are 2/8. So it's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So either you know that that's 4 3/8, or an alternative, if that's not making sense to you, you just count all the tick marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you would say that's 6/16, which reduces down to 3/8. So you can see you get the same fraction no matter what. All right. And so there's a number of more problems for you to go over. I'll skip to this one just because this one is the same thing, just inches, but it goes down to the 16th of an inch, and you'll see that on the very first problem. You see 10, and it goes to the smallest tick mark, which is a 16th of an inch. So either you just count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And because it is 13/16, it does not reduce. Or you know that since this would be a half, this would be 9/16, 11/16, 13/16. All right. So a number of different ways to do it. But you know, the idea is that tape measures go down to the 16th of an inch. You need to be able to read it to the 16th of an inch. All right, so that's reading in inches only, but we do have examples of where we need to read in feet and inches. All right, so sometimes it might give you a measurement that is more than 1 foot, And here you need to remember that when we have something that's bigger than a foot, we need to remember that 12 inches equals 1 foot. So there's going to be a process here. The first thing is to be able to just read this number. All right, so hopefully we can read this, that it goes to the biggest tick mark right there, which is halfway between the 90 and the 91. So we know that that is 90 and 1/2 inches. All right, so 90 and a half inches. All right, but that's not the answer we're looking for. We're looking for it feet and inches. So in this example, the first step is so we're starting with this 90 and a half inches, and we take the whole inches, which is that right there, and divide by 12. So 90 divided by 12. All right. You can use a calculator to do that if you need to, whatever the process is that you need to follow. But if you do that, you'll find probably that it is 7 point something. I'll just pull up a quick calculator online here. 90 divided by 12, and it's 7.5. All right, so 7.5. But the idea is we don't really need to pay attention as much to what's in the decimal. All you need is that whole thing there because that is your feet. So we know that 90 inches is 7 whole feet. All right. So then we multiply the whole feet by 12 to find how many inches have been used. So 7 times 12 is 80, 84. All right. So in 7 feet, we know there have been 84 inches used. All right. Then we subtract the original whole inches from the used. So what I'm saying is we subtract 90 minus 84 because to get from 84 inches, which is like on our picture would be over here somewhere, to get from 84 inches up to 90, we had to go 6 more inches. All right, so now we have 7 feet 6 inches, and then all you do is add on the fraction that we ignored before, right? Before we just took the 90 and just ignored the ½ inch, so now we just take that back on. So we have 7 feet 6 1/2 inches. All right, and that is what 90 1/2 inches converts to. And any of these problems, you do the exact same thing. So I'll just take another example here. I'll just go down here. And, so by the way, that would be 7 feet 6 1/2 inches. All right, so going down here, we'd see that this is 45, and that's a 7/8. You could also say 45 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. So that's 45 7/8 of an inch. All right, so just showing the calculation part here. I'll just show that off to the side here. So we have 45 divided by 12. 45 divided by 12, it's going to go in 3 whole times. So it would be 3 point something. Let's figure out what exactly. 45 divided by 12, it's going to be 3.75. Okay. Again, not that we needed the decimal, so just pointing out it's 3.75. So we take the 3. Our answer is going to be 3 feet. And then we need to figure out the inches part. So 3 times 12 is 36 inches. So we use 36 inches in 3 feet. So 45 minus 36. To get from 36 up to 45, we needed, that would be 9 more inches. So 3 feet, 9 inches. And then don't forget that our original one was 45 7/8 of an inch. So we would just take that 7/8 and tack it back on. All right, so that would be 3 foot 9 7/8 of an inch. All right. Hopefully that helps explain how to read a tape measure. Also, by the way, if you actually have a tape measure with you, one thing that's cool about tape measures is I'll extend it out to 90.5 inches. Let's see. So at 90 inches, you'll see that the tape measure has both black numbers and red numbers. And you see that the red numbers restart after every foot. So if you saw 90 inches using a tape measure, you'd see that it was just past the 7 foot. You'd see it's 7 feet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 7 feet 6, and then whatever the fractional portion is. Same thing at the 45 inches. I'll put it right there. At the 45, you see it's 3 foot, 9 inches, and then whatever the fractional part is. All right, so actually having a tape measure can help you with these problems too. All right, if you have additional questions, please ask your teacher.